A fresh cup of hot coffee. I'm so excited. Welcome, everyone. This is Kate Kalthoff with Stamping to Share. Hello, Yvonne. Thank you for sharing already. My husband's not home this morning. It's awesome. We've been sharing, the workspace so long here, but he actually went into work today only because they're having like an electronics drive where you can turn in old electronics and then they recycle them or I don't know, somehow they get rid of them, but they have that drive once a year. So we try not to miss it because you know how that old technology can pile up in a spare bedroom. So that is what is going on today. Welcome. Hello. Hi, Patricia from North Carolina. Hello, Nisi. Thank you for sharing. Oh, goody. Welcome. Hello, Mary Ellen. Yeah, we're doing another card in celebration of the new 2021-2022 Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. So this is all part of my kickoff. It's kind of a 2-week long thing. I did 4 Facebook Lives last week, and I'm doing 4 Facebook Lives this week. So this is my 7th one. I will do one more tomorrow. Tomorrow, I just want to let you know, is my Creative Crafters. They're my downline team. We do a swap once a month. So the card that I'm doing tomorrow is actually the swap that my Creative Crafters will receive from me this month for swapping. So I'm excited to share that one too. Welcome. Hello, Shelly. Hi, Peggy. Good to see you. Hi, Bonnie. Oh my goodness, we have so many friends jumping in. Welcome. Oh, and Marlene is here. Sweet. Oh, she's noticing my cup, my turtle cup. Yes, that is because we are going to be going to Hawaii soon. And just to let you know, this cup comes from Hawaii. Stampin' Up, well, it might not have been Stampin' Up. It might have been a hotel that we stayed in. When we checked into our room, they said we could redeem a gift from their gift shop. So I can't remember what I don't know, it's like $10 or $15. And so I picked the Sea Turtle coffee cup because we were way up high on this hotel and we looked out over Waikiki Beach and we could see sea turtles. Every time we'd step out on our balcony, there were sea turtles out in the ocean in front of our hotel. And we could always see those great big shapes, just kind of floating along in the water. And it was kind of funny because like the swimmers and the surfers, they were just pretty oblivious to it because they couldn't see them from their angle. But we were way up in our hotel so we could see exactly where these sea turtles were out in the ocean. So it's really fun. We really enjoyed watching that, and it was just kind of a great memory. So every time I drink my coffee from my little turtle cup, I think of that time in Hawaii. We spent our 25th anniversary there, and it just happened to coincide with a Stampin' Up! Trip. And weirdly enough, this morning when I opened my phone, you know how it always does these like little memories pictures? There was a picture of Steve and I just hanging out, in Hawaii. So it's pretty fun. Welcome. Good morning. Hi, Shelly from California. So good to have you here. Okay, well, I know I'm getting a little carried away chit-chatting. It's because of the coffee. Blame the coffee. Oh, goodness. Oh, and Peggy's telling me about their turtle patrol on their beach. Oh yeah, that would be great for morning coffee on the beach. I'm looking forward to a lot of coffee. I know this is really off topic and it's not Stampin' Up! But we just got a new coffee machine for our cabin up north because, hello, we're not going to go up north and not have really good coffee. So I got with a bonus from Stampin' Up! I took some of my bonus money and I bought a really nice espresso machine to have at our cabin up north so the kids will want to come visit us. I don't know if they're going to be coming for the parents or the coffee, but they'll have both options once they get there. All right. Oh, Joyce is joining us. Renee is here. Pat is here. Oh, it's so great to have you all here. Okay, I'm going to stop getting too carried away here. I'm going to have another sip of coffee and then we'll get started. Uh-oh. Oh, I just spilled. That was a really full cup of coffee. Now I've got to do cleanup before I switch the camera down. Oh, and there's my pen that I couldn't find. So I do fountain pens. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but that's kind of like my hobby. And I was looking for this all morning and it was on the floor. All right, so let me flip the camera down and we'll get going. I really do like this background paper that I have on my desk because it helps me line up my camera so much better than my previous paper did. I just have to line up this line back here and then I'm kind of good to go for getting started. All right, so here we go, everybody. This is the card we're making today. Actually, we're making two cards, and I'm going to show you how you're using one die cut to make two pretty cards. I know this is a little bit fallish, but this paper is gorgeous. I love it. And of course, fall is my favorite season in Minnesota. So I wanted to share this pretty card that I made with you for a leader swap that I was in. And so we'll go ahead and get started making this. The bundle we're using is called Inspired Thoughts. It's lots of really great sentiments. And then here is the, what is it called? Inspiring Canopy Dies is what you can purchase it to get 10% off when you get both the stamp set and the dies. And so I knew I was going to have it as soon as I saw it because it's just one of those stamp sets that to me just is so Minnesota, so I had to get it. And then you probably didn't even notice it, but the sentiment, I just had to make it somehow stand out because it's a little bit busy in here. So to make that sentiment pop, I used the dies that are called the Floral Gallery dies, and I used this longer one here to cut out my sentiments. And so that's what I did. So I had those two things and then another, so Stampin' Cut and Emboss Machine got a heavy workout with this card, but this is the Tasteful Textile die. So I'm going to hold the card up really close. Can you see all that great texture on that card? Yep, that's the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder. So we're using that. We're going to put some really pretty little metallic pearls onto our card. And the ink pad that we're using is Mary Merlot. And yep, we're going to use a silicone mat and a sponge dauber. This kind of looks used. I'm hoping I did wash it. And we're going to dive into this gorgeous, gorgeous designer series paper called Beauty of Friendship. Here's what all of the different designs look like. So it has a front side and a reverse side, and I have all of it pictured here. And you can see it's really going to be great for fall cards and winter cards. And you can even get away with a few summer cards in here, but I would say it's more of a fall and winter designer series paper pack. It would make some beautiful scrapbook pages because, you know, it's always fun to take pictures in the fall of your family with the beautiful backdrop of the leaves. All right, and here is the little color wheel we're using today. We've got Basic White, Early Espresso, Mary Merlot, Misty Moonlight, and Cajun Craze. All right, so let's get going. The first thing is our basic, or our Misty Moonlight card base, and this is a basic card base, 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. So I need to find my, here it is. I need to have my bone folder here because I did not pre-fold these. I do have them pre-scored. I never make a card without pre-scoring. I know that's an extra step, and I do it for all of my card kits to go too. So my customers have come to expect that from me. But I just think it just makes such an awesomely, neatly folded card. It's just wonderful. I use my bone folder a lot. Then the next thing I did is I took 2 panels of our Misty Moonlight paper, cut them to 4 by 5 1/4, and I ran them through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss Machine, again, with the Tasteful Textiles 3D embossing folder. So I did that in advance. I'll hold it up real close so you can see the awesome texture on here. So I'm going to just go ahead and glue that down onto my card. So I've got my multi-purpose liquid glue here. We don't have any ribbon wraps on this card, so it's going to be pretty quick. We can just do a bunch of layering right off the bat and get pretty far along on making this card. So just center that in. So this is tone on tone. And that looks good. Pretty good. Pretty good. There we go. And here's the second card. So let me scoot this in. Yep, that looks good too. All right, and then the next thing we're going to do is we have an inside panel. You know how much of a fan I am of inside panels. So this is basic white, 4 by 5 1/4. And the outside of our card says, thanks so much. It's right here. And the inside of the card says, you make a difference every day. I went ahead and pre-stamped it because it was pretty much basic stamping. So thanks so much. You make a difference every day. Again, these are 2 sentiments that coordinate together from the inspired thoughts. And what I did down here is I have a 3/4 inch by 4 inch panel of the designer series paper. And let me show you where I grabbed that from. So, oh, isn't it just beautiful? Oh my gosh, when I saw this designer series paper, I mean, I would like to have about 20 sheets of just this paper. To me, this looks like Duluth, Minnesota, when the fog comes in over the Great Lakes and then it kind of creeps up the hills, and especially in the fall when there's every kind of color. And you can just see the fog in the distance, but then as the trees are closer to you, the color kind of comes out so that it's a wonderful graduated color. So one of my favorite things in the world is to be in Duluth in the fall. And this paper just reminds me so much of it. So what I did is I took the top part of this particular page, and that's what's going to go on the front of the card. And then down here, I had a strip of more vibrant color. So I think I was left with a 1.5 inch piece strip at the bottom. So I cut that in half. So I got 2 pieces out of that strip at the bottom. So that was 3/4 inches by 4 inches that I put on the inside panel of the card. So I can go ahead and just add that. I'm going to use some Stamp and Seal to do that. So let me take my Stamp and Seal and we'll add that to the inside of our card base. Uh-oh, somebody's saying, or Elaine is telling me that the video has frozen. I hope it comes back for you. It looks good on my end. Sorry about that. I'll know when I download it and decide to start editing it, if it actually froze on my end or not. Well, shoot, I don't know how the video could, Kathy's saying the video keeps interrupting. I don't know how that could be because my husband's not even home. So it's only me using the computer. Oh, shoot, that's too bad. Well, then Mary Ellen is saying it's okay in Montana. Well, whew, it does seem okay on my part. I do know how it feels to be seeing a, kind of jerky and frozen. That's frustrating. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to layer up another panel. So we've got a 3 3/8 inch by 4 5/8 inch of cinnamon. What is this called again? Boy, I didn't even put that in my color wheel. I think I got it mixed up. I think I thought I was using Cajun Craze, but I'm not. I'm actually using cinnamon cider. So I should have had cinnamon cider in my color wheel, but I was in a hurry and made a mistake. But it's 3 3/8 by 4 5/8. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to put one on this side and one on this side, and you'll see why when we get to the actual card that we're making. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in. So let me add some glue, and this is just glued straight on. So I can go ahead and put one here. So we're just layering it up here in the left-hand corner, and this one we will layer up in the right-hand corner at the bottom. It all has to do with placement of the sentiment, and you'll see that when we get to that point, why I am doing this. All right, so there we go. We've got that done, and we're going to kind of stop with this part, put that aside. And then, let me get some other things out here. So then we have a Mary Merlot panel, and we're going to be building on that before we put it on our card. So the Mary Merlot panel is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And then we have, like I said, here we go, that beautiful paper again. It's 3 by 4 1/4. And as I mentioned, I took it from here. So that does leave maybe, I think that probably is a little more than 1 1/2. Shoot, I don't have my ruler next to me, but whatever. I did have enough room down here to do the inside panels. So again, just in case you forgot, I'm gonna, because I went through this pretty fast, it's 3 by 4 1/4. That's the panel that goes right here. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna layer that up with some multi-purpose liquid glue. We'll do that on both pieces here, and we're just going to center them into the Mary Merlot panel, and away we go. Thank you, everybody, for joining me this morning. It's nice to have you here. If you are fairly new to Stamping to Share and to myself, and you're enjoying the video so far, go ahead and like my page on Facebook. It's Stamping to Share on Facebook, and the likes and the follows really make my day when I see a new person has liked my page. Thank you so much. All right, then the next thing we're going to do is we take a piece of scrap early espresso, and we have a tree die cut. Now, I need you to see this. So give me a second here. I'm gonna put this out on a piece of white paper so you can see what I'm doing. So here is the tree die, and we want to trim this so that so we're gonna use one die and create 2 cards with it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my scissors and I wanna trim it through here. So I'm just going to, so what I do is I kind of line it up on a grid paper, and I am going to cut it about right here, and I'm just going up and I'm trimming up kind of on that line of the grid paper. So I have one tree that looks like this, and then I have my 3 other trees over here that look like that. And I kind of think this is a little bit too wide, so I am going to trim that again. So I will show you why it's too wide. Because see, it's falling over the edge. So what we want is we want it to look about like that. So to do that, I just am trimming up really, I just, again, find a line. It's just so helpful to find a line, or you could use your trimmer. And I just cut up. So I'm gonna cut there, and then I'm just following that line up, and I'm gonna trim off this edge, just like that. So now it should fit into my panel a little better. So there it is. And I think I do need to get a little closer over here. So I'm just going to wing it. How does that look? See, I don't want it over the top here, but this is about perfect. But this little guy sticks out, so just take your scissors and just trim a little of that off, and then we're going to trim a little of this one off as well because it sticks out so long. There we go. So now we did all the trimming on our trees. See, you trim trees outside and you trim trees in the craft room. And then we're just going to stick these onto our paper. But to do that, and this one's going to go here. To do that, we need to get a little multi-purpose liquid glue. We're going to stick that up there in the corner. We're going to take the sponge dauber. I'm going to flip it over. And we're going to do a little sponging on the tree tops so that it will stick down on the paper for us. Then for this area, it's pretty wide. So I can just take my multi-purpose liquid glue and put a few dots, and we're good to go. Now I'm going to put that onto our panel here that we've prepared. And there it is. All on and perfect. We're going to do the exact same thing over here. So once again, I'm going to make a little pile of glue. As long as I'm at it, I might as well put this down here. So I'm just putting a little glue on the tree trunks. And then I'm taking the sponge dauber and I'm just adding a little glue here to the top of the tree so that those tree tops are not going to be loose and floppy. So we're going to go ahead and go here, and this is going to go down here at the bottom, and we're going to tuck it up to the right, and that's just perfect. Everything's within the frame, and there we go. Looks so good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually put this onto our card with dimensionals. So I've got some dimensionals here. And we'll just stick a bunch of these on. Got to get my little wastebasket in the picture. Hello, Deborah. She's here. Yay. Kathy says what? She loves the designer series paper. What a clever use of the die cut to get two. Yep, 2 cards out of 1 die cut. Great idea to use the grid paper for that kind of cutting instead of eyeballing. That's what Nisi's saying this morning. Deb Anderson has jumped on here and said hi. Thank you, you guys. It's so great to be here. All right, I have my downline meeting tomorrow night. I'm really excited. I always love it when our creative crafters get together. We do it online so that everybody all over the United States can participate. It's super fun. So let's see. So I want this tree heavy one on this side because my sentiment is going to come out to the left side. So that's why I put the cinnamon panel to the bottom right. So we're just going to set this in, get it all centered into that cinnamon panel. And there we go. So that's one. And then here's the other one. I put this panel in the lower left because this tree is all kind of grouped into the lower left. So that's where we're going to keep it. We're going to set this in. Again, just get that centered into that cinnamon cider panel. And there we go. So we got those 2 things done. The last thing to do is the sentiment. And I did pre-do it because what I did is I stamped the sentiment, thank you so much, onto scrap basic white. And then I took it to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and cut it out. So, and again, just as a reminder, what did I use? I used, it's called the Floral Gallery dies. And it coordinates with the Art Gallery stamp set. I believe it's still bundled through June 30th, but once the mini catalog goes away, then it won't be bundled anymore with that stamp set, but we'll still have it in our catalog. So here's what that looked like, and I use these. And the reason I did that is because there's a lot of color and kind of busyness in this card, so I really wanted these to stand out. And look at how much they stand out when you put them on that kind of a panel. Plus, they look really, really fancy. So I'm going to flip this over, and we're going to use mini dimensionals to put this on with. So one way that I like to do mini dimensionals is I just grab them with the end of my Take Your Pick tool, and I can just stick those right onto this panel. And then I'll just peel this off, peel off the little peelies, and then flip it over, and I'm going to set this. Oh, let's see. How do I want to set this? Do I want to overlap it with the tree? I think I want to overlap it just a little bit. So it's going to look like this on this side, and then we'll do the same thing on the other card. So grab 3 mini dimensionals. Whoops, missed the dimensional, just got the peely. Here we go. Take those peelies off. And then we're gonna set this one to the left. So that one I think will wing out a little bit more into the blue. But there we go. Doesn't that look great? Well, now we're gonna do the finishing touch. And the finishing touch is to add some gold metallic jewels. So we are going to do that by take your pick tool, and I'm going to use the putty end. I've got a little strip of them here. And we're just gonna add one there, whoops, one there, and then one more down here. I like to do those in sets of 3. Isn't that amazingly gorgeous? Oh my gosh, I just love it. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. So again, there's a little bit of an area here that just begs for some jewels or some pearls. So we're gonna put those on, and then we'll just throw one right down there. Oh my goodness, and here's this one up close. It's so pretty. All right, so I hope I've convinced you that you need the Inspired Thoughts bundle. This tree set is wonderful. It'll really save you time when you need to make a lot of cards this fall, because you can make 2 cards with every one of those die cuts, which I just love that. Thank you everybody for joining me today. It was great to be here. Please be sure to check out the Join special that I have right now on my blog. It's a Stampin' Up! Special where you can join Stampin' Up! $155 in your starter kit. That's a big, big savings for you. And you can get a little taste of what it's like to be a demonstrator and what it's like to be a part of my Creative Crafters group. Have a great day, everyone. I truly appreciate you. Bye-bye.